This is a very special Ted Coningsby episode. This is the story of why Ted's beret goes flying and the meaning of it. Also, you will know who it honours. Well, I know many of you ask why not stitch the beret to Ted's head. Well, I wouldn't like someone sewing a needle through my head. The reason why we allow the beret, should it choose to fly off naturally, we would need to go back to 1945. You may wonder at times, why is it on a sunny day that the Spitfires don't fly? It isn't always due to the rain, or the sun in fact, it is to do with the speed of the wind. If it is too windy, the BBMF may have to cancel their departures. Spitfires back in their prime days would need a procedure called rough weather procedure. This would involve someone sitting on the tail of a Spitfire to stop the aircraft from tipping over. The Spitfire has very narrow landing gear, so in windy conditions the weight of a person would hold it down by sitting on the tail. Once the chocks were removed, the person sitting on would jump off before takeoff. However, on the 9th of February 1945 at RAF Hibalstow in Lincolnshire, flight mechanic Margaret Horton of the Women's Auxiliary Air Force was called for a rough weather procedure on a Spitfire Alpha Bravo 910. As Margaret was sat on the tail of the Spitfire, the pilot was unaware of the rough weather procedure and had no idea he was carrying a passenger on the tail of his Spitfire. The ground crew removed the chocks and the pilot took off, carrying Margaret with him. Margaret wrapped herself around the fuselage and gripped onto the elevator with just 3 fingers. This was to get the attention of the pilot so that he would realise there was something wrong. But although the fin made it difficult for her to fall off, she was experiencing blood rush to the head and feeling like she was going to black out. It was around 600 feet that the pilot realised that there was something wrong with his elevator, but still unaware that he was carrying Margaret on the back. He requested permission to land the aircraft. The flying control officer chose not to tell the pilot that he was carrying a passenger on the tail of his aircraft, not to startle the pilot. It was only after the whole episode that the pilot was informed of the incident. Margaret's beret had stayed on the whole time until the aircraft came to land. This is the connection with Ted's beret. Berets were given by the king, and losing your beret came with a forfeit of 2 weeks' wages. Once the aircraft slowed down, Margaret slipped off the aircraft and retrieved her beret. This is pretty much what Ted does, and this is why we allowed the beret to go flying, and it is in honour of Margaret Horton.